Hi everyone, this is Susie from Minnesota Zone 4, and it's the middle of July, and I thought I'd show you what my containers all look like. This has the ornamental oregano in it. A lot of traffic today. I'm surprised. I live on a dead-end street. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might just leave it. It is pretty, but I have a lot of dead in there too. The little frog is cute. That's, I'm butchering the name, but I think it's Coffea. It looks really good. Three different types of coleus in here. It's filled up really nicely. The Creeping Jenny is loving it. And I'm loving the Creeping Jenny. I just love how that cascades over. This year I didn't do it on purpose, but I don't have one sweet potato vine planted. For some reason that's just, I completely forgot about using those, but I think because last year the earwigs just did a number on them that I went with Creeping Jenny because they don't bother that. I love how it cascades. Just clings to the pot. I have not seen many earwigs. There's been a few, but I've been laying down a lot of bait. I'm being proactive this year. I've been pinching a lot of my hostas, especially like the front one here, so it doesn't get too, this one tends to grow a little more vigorously than the others, but this is just gorgeous. Love the colors. And this one here is the same as this one. Is that not weird how they're a little different in look? I want to say this probably gets a little more sun, and it probably bounces off of everything. So it's getting a little more bleached look, but still doing good. Sun Patience, looking phenomenal. Purple fountain grass looks great. We've had a lot of rain, so everything's doing pretty good. I've been using the rain for my rain barrel. It's empty now. And it's okay if it gets a little dry, because maybe the mosquitoes will stop. This has a little tighter growth because this is compact. And then this here, you can see a little difference in it. But I mean, you really have to get up close to even see the difference. And it's probably because I know they're two different plants, so of course I see the difference. Okay. Get my hood on my bug suit, going into the shady area. This is absolutely gorgeous. Probably one of my favorite planters. Two types of Wandering June here. It's going all over. That's just massive. Sun Patience. And then the coleus. The coleus did kind of flop over from previous rains that we've had, but I kind of like it how it's just kind of peeking out here and there. I have been pinching it though, so to maintain kind of a, not smaller, because I do want it to get pretty big. But at least it doesn't look so weird in amongst the big shrubs here now. I do love this. But I like the tropical looking containers. I like pinks, don't get me wrong, but orange is one of my favorite colors. Tahitian Bridal Veil. Diamond Frost Euphorbia in here. And then this is the Griffin Begonia. That has really filled out. And I'm not sure, maybe this pot will go over where my Bleeding Heart's going to go dormant. And then I'll replace the other blue one in here for just a little pop of color. Because right now, a lot of white in this area. Variegation. Not sure. Nice thing about containers, especially the ones I plant up, is with the coleus and everything, they can kind of go all over. Kind of like musical pots. So that's this little one. I just planted it up with all of the cuttings that I took. It'll take a little bit for it to fill out. I pinched a lot of it for bushier growth. But the bleeding heart is still pretty green. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Wandering Jew is pretty good in here, but not as massive as the other ones. Nice coleus. I might pinch that. And then, I don't know. I might leave it. Give it a good shot of fertilizer. I've cut it back quite a bit. It's a fuchsia. I don't have a lot of luck with fuchsias. Also, I think if I can do this, I want to say up there, I probably get a lot of runoff from that peak, and I'm thinking this umbrella planter is right underneath it. So I bet the rain just pounds that. So I'm wondering if that's what's going on here. It's probably getting a lot more rain than what it should. I might just flip this one with that one. And then I know this gets less sun than that. So, lots of decisions. And this is in a very shady spot. It does get morning sun, but this is another sun patient. But you can see the blooms are still very profuse. Coleus planter. I love it. More coleus. And then back here is a majesty palm. But the only thing is, anyone who grows majesty palms, what are these? These big, I mean, they're part of the plant, but do I trim them or do I leave them? And they're fine, but I don't know. They're a little weird. My robin friend is back. I can always hear him in the mulch. This is looking really good here. I deadheaded my upright fuchsia, so hopefully it produces a lot more blooms. My dragon wing begonias look so great. I love how they just kind of drape over. Really like this planter. My neighbor's dogs. This green licorice vine is just going to town and just letting it. I like the way that it grows. In here I just have a bunch of herbs. I have rosemary, basil, oregano. Wow, that looks really good. It's a little tricky to water because I have to kind of tilt it in order to water these side ones so the water actually goes in. Peppermint. Some more sun patience. They're really filling out nicely. Lemon verbena. The other day I had the moonflower. This is a moonflower vine. And the bloom was kind of down here. It was huge and just such a lovely fragrance. I have to fertilize this a little bit more because I don't have too many blossoms on, but I have a lot of good growth. Purple bell vine. It's very dainty. So I would say if you're going to plant that, it's probably definitely not going to fill out an arch or a trellis. So I like it in my hanging baskets better than I do on the arch. Here's the Mina labata, or Spanish flag plant. This is the vine that the hummingbirds love. And it's so close to where I sit so I can watch them. It's really neat. This is a datura, one of my smaller ones. This kind of, it went through a little hard spell, so it's bounced back rather nicely. There is a bloom in there. It gets huge. One type of coleus. Love that color. This stuff has just gone to town. I love that. I think it's called Alternathra. Don't quote me on that, but I'm not sure where I have my tags right now. This is quite full. I love the dipped in wine coleus in full sun. In shade, I think it loses its color a little bit, so love this. The cannas are looking really good. And I have one back here. And this is called all three of these are supposed to be Cleopatra, and the blooms are supposed to be kind of yellow-red, so I can't wait to see them. This is, sorry, that mosquito was right in front of the lens. This is my other Datura, which is far more vigorous, but you can see the size of these blooms, and it's not, you can see this is the spent one. I left it on there to show you. That's how big it gets. I think I'm going to clip this off. I know that it gets these seed pods that are really neat looking. They're like balls and very spiky, but I think I'll put a lot of energy into that. But it's so cool. And I have a lot. There's, I mean, all of these. I have this one, and this one, this one, this one. And I have to be a little careful because I do have a bird nesting in here. A wren. It's the first time I have a bird in that one. My sister doesn't care for the scent of this one, and it smells the strongest at night, but that's okay. And then in here I just have a pot of some extra Nicotiana I had. Then I'll go around back to show you my dahlias that are blooming. I'm not sure why the heads are that way. The sun never goes that way. And then I'm going to have to water this one. This I have to water probably twice a day. This is a sun patient, tropical orange. I love the variegated leaves. And then in here you can see I have the purple bellvine. And this is where I like it because it is dainty. And I just kind of let it go all over. Hopefully you can see this. I know it's really sunny right now and you can see it's climbing up. I'm just going to let it. And I like all of this because the purples kind of tie into one another with the castor oil bean and also a little bit of the cosmos. Yeah, I'll give you a look at this one too. And I only have one tropical orange in here, so it's definitely aggressive plant. I think next year I'm going to try something. I'm going to do less in pots to see how it does, because so far the ones that have less in it, I find that they're getting really big. So yeah, so my cannas all have, not all, but these two have flower heads here. It's really cool. It's taken a little bit. I have 3 different types of dahlias in here. And you can see I like my oranges and yellows and also purples. This is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. There was an earwig on one of the leaves yesterday, and I killed him. I did not feel bad about doing that. Okay, walk over here. I have a lot of containers because I also had a lot of plants I started, and I can't throw things away. I just feel bad. So these are some of the cannas that I had left over, and I'm like, I had some pots, I had some soil, so I'm like, yeah. plus what really made me think, it was starting to form a flower head. And I'm like, ugh. I don't know about you guys, but I just have issues throwing away healthy plants. This is dichondra. And this is also just a sun patient tropical orange. And it's starting to fill up really nicely. This was the later planting, and not only that, these were all the plugs that I had that I got so late in the season, but they look really good. So can't wait till they start filling out. All right. I'm just really happy with the way my garden is looking. And also can't complain that we've had a really nice amount of rainfall too. So less watering. Last year that took a lot. Another Caffea. So cute. There's 3 types of cannas in here. They're all different, but for some reason they all have purple foliage, which I like. It's a nice pop of color in this area with a lot of green. Down here is a pineapple sage. It did have some red blossoms on it. I might move this to where that kind of morning glory vine is. It'll get a little more sun, and I thought if I move that one here, and in the other area over there, I might move my datura to kind of balance it out. Don't know. Oh, just wait. And then, right there. Things just catch my eye and I have to look because this is what I grow a garden for. Me, but also for the wildlife, bees, butterflies, pollinators. And yes, I grow the blueberries and the strawberries for the critters too. Okay. To figure out what I was doing here. Oh yes, my containers. More sun patience. This is in a very shady area, and so that does really good there. Like I said, lots of traffic today. I don't know if I got a really good picture of my bee balm back there, but I also love the white from the giant fleece flower with the red. I think it kind of just softens the red a little bit. But the red, my favorite bee balm of all times. I love those flower heads. I cannot say enough about this one. Another sun patient. So yes, they bloom just as well in shade as they do sun. They probably get a little leggier in shade. Okay, so you saw my, I'm just going to look here real quick. That is so weird. Really, really weird. Oh well, okay. This just has houseplants in here. This is done really good. I think I've watered this once in this season. This is one of my elephant ears. It's called Boa. This leaf has finally gotten bigger. It's taken a little bit, but I have a feeling that finally it got a really good root system. There's a new leaf right here. Can't wait to see how big that gets. Probably not as big as the Thailand giant, but I'm thinking next year I'm going to have to look for that one. That bothers me. I love elephant ears. More coleus. Been pinching this to keep it nice and bushy. This is another elephant ear. It's leaning over a little bit. I think it's getting a little... I gotta be careful. I have a feeling that might break off. And then back here, just have a type of coleus along with the fuchsia. I think the fuchsia's liking this spot a little bit more because it's not getting as much sun. It gets morning sun and not evening. But I think that's it for my containers. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and I'll say it'll probably be another month before I do an update on my containers, unless if I get a really good shot of the datura blooming. Hopefully you like this, and I will talk to you later. Bye.